Okay, Tov, we are continuing in Megilat Esther, Perek Aleph, Pasuk Tet Zayin. We left off with Achashverosh getting very upset that his wife Vashti didn't come out to his party when he called him, and he asked the advisors what to do. And now Vayomer Memuchan. Memuchan, the Gemara says was Haman, and according to most opinions. And one thing though for sure we know is that in the list of the 7 advisors, he was number 7. He was mentioned last. And mentioned last means the order. Even though he was in the 7 advisory boards, he was the least. And he was the one that went up to speak. And the Gemara coins on Haman, Shehediot kafatz barosh. The lowest one, he jumps to the top. Haman was that guy that even though he was the lowest, he jumped to the top, jumped to try to speak ahead, exactly, ga'ava, to speak ahead of everyone else. Vayomer, and that's also hinted to in the pasuk where it says, Vayomer memuchan lifnei hamelech vehasarim, in front of the king and the ministers. And he was the one who jumped to say an answer. And what does he say? Lo ala melech levado avta Vashti malka. Not only on the king did Vashti malka sin, and here he mentions Vashti first, as we mentioned that when you say Malka first, the queen first, it gives her more chashivut, and he says Vashti first. She was not the only one that sinned to you. Ki al kol hasarim ve al kol ha'amim, on all the ministers and on all the nations she sinned. She sinned across the board. Asher bechol medinot hamelech Achashverosh, in all the countries of your kingdom, she sinned. The sin of not listening to her husband. That sin is not just to you and the king, that trickles down to every minister, every peasant, every person in the nation. Now the wife is going to jump in front of the husband and not listen to the husband. Let's continue with the Pesukim, and then we'll say the Gaon Mevilna. Ki yetzeh devara malka al kol hanashim. What's going to happen is the words of the queen, that what she said, she's not coming, is going to come to all the ladies are going to hear this. Le'avzot ba'alehen ve'enehem, to embarrass their husbands in their own eyes, to embarrass them in their face, to embarrass them. Be'omram hamelech Achashverosh, and that was said when Melech Achashverosh, when you, the king Achashverosh, amar le'avid Vashti malka lefanav ve'lo va'a, that you, King Achashverosh, said to bring Vashti the queen in front of you, and she did not come. That is going to be said to all the ladies. What? Yeah, I'm just reading now 3 Pesukim in 1 for today's shiur, and a little explanation. The third pasuk, ve'hayom hazeh, and this is already starting on today. This just happened. This is starting already from right now. Tomarna sarot paras umadai, even the ministers and sarot, the female, even on the female party, they heard. Asher shameu et devar hamalka, those are the ones that heard the story from the words of the queen. Lechol sarei hamelech, it's going to translate to all the ministers of the kingdom. Uchedai bizayon v'katzef, and there's going to be very much embarrassment and wrath from this. So that's what he says. He says this is going to be, this that she embarrassed you is not just you, it's translating to the entire kingdom. The Midrash says, and we see this from later on in the Megilah, that Haman took this opportunity. He sees a lady, a queen, embarrassing her husband. Haman had shalom bayit problems at home himself. As we see later on, Zeresh, his wife, was the one who convinced him to build the 50 amot gallows to hang Mordechai on. She was the one that pushed him. She was the fire. He had shalom bayit at home. He says, whoa, if Vashti is going to do this, what's my wife going to do to me? Even more than she's already doing to me. Forget it. This is a good plan to put Vashti down and put my wife down also. So that's also why he was so into this plan. Be'omram hamelech Achashverosh. So here it's Be'omram is when it's said, it's when it's going to be said from one person to the next, meaning, word spreads like wildfire. Here, this part is only a certain amount of people, but it's going to eventually spread throughout the entire kingdom from one mouth to another mouth. I think the minhag is we say here be'omram and ke'omram. Is that this one? At this point. Right. So at this point? Later on. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because the truth is that I didn't see that here, and I didn't have an explanation for it here. But I thought it was here. Okay, we're going to see it later. And like he says, the Hayom Hazeh, it's already going to start from this point. So the Gaon of Vilna explains, we said that the characters in the story also have a different, deeper meaning to it. And we said that Hamelech, without Hamelech HaChashverosh, is referring to Hashem. Hamelech HaChashverosh is a Chashverosh, but it's also referring to the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. We said Vashti is the body. And who is Haman? Haman is the Satan. So he said that the Yetzer Hara, the Satan, and the Malach HaMavet are the same. What's the function of each one? The Yetzer Hara is evil inclination that tries to get us to sin. That's when we say Yetzer Hara, it's the evil inclination that tries to get us to sin. It's l'nasototan, to test us. And like we said, that he's under Hashem. He tries testing us. Hashem commands him to test us, but for us to pass the test, hopefully, and then we get to a better level, higher level. And then the test is higher, and then we get to higher level, etc. The Satan is lehastina lenu, is to be a prosecuting angel, if katreg, to prosecute us and say bad things about us. That's what the Satan is. So when we in Shemaim say, hey, what he did this, don't give him reward. Look what he did. Look what he did. That's the Satan function. To test us. That's when you say Yetzer Hara. Satan is saying bad about us. So that's Haman over here also. Haman in the story is the Satan. And he's the one that talks bad. He's the one that talks bad to kill Mordechai, wants to kill the Jews. He's the one that talks bad over here. Hey, Achashverosh, she's going to do this. And look, it's going to go on to the whole nation, therefore kill her. So he's the one talking bad in the story. That's the story. That's the Satan in our story. And he plugs it into this pasuk, and what this will end. And he says, Imal HaMelech Tov. Sorry, that's the next pasuk. Here he says, Ki yetzeh devar HaMelech kol nashim. One second. Oh, here. Vayom memuchan lifnei HaMelech. HaMelech is referring to Hashem. So Haman, the Satan, says in front of the king, in front of Hashem, Ve'asarim. Lo ala melech levado. So he's talking again to Hashem that Bnei Israel, the Satan, Bnei Israel didn't just sin to you. Al kol asrim al kol ha'amim asher b'bechol midinot hamelech HaChashverosh. Hamelech HaChashverosh is referring to the Yetzer Hara. Meaning the Satan says, when he comes to try to put us down, he says, Hashem, the Jews or this Jew didn't just sin to you. He should be under Hamelech HaChashverosh. He should be under the neshamot that the Yetzer Hara already kind of convinced and has in his pocket. This one should also be there. This one shouldn't be with the regular. He should be with the Yetzer Hara as well. So going in the story, we'll see now how this continues to play out. The Achashverosh as the Yetzer Hara, Satan is Haman. We still didn't see who Mordechai is, who Esther is. We didn't get there yet. Bezrat Hashem, we'll get there slowly. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akasher omer Kadosh Baruch Hu lezakot את ישראל לפי חכי בעליהם טוב מצוא שנאמר אדוני חפץ זמן צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר אמן אמן